Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloria and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today I wanted to go through some of the not beginner friendly, difficult Hoyas that I have in my collection. So if you're new to Hoyas, I would definitely not recommend these. I've definitely done a video for like beginner Hoyas, which, you know, like the carnosas, publicalyx, those ones, they're really easy. But these ones, a little bit more on the intermediate to difficult level. I know there's definitely harder Hoyas out there, which I just don't have, so take this with a grain of salt. But yeah, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I would say this one is probably my most difficult Hoya that actually needs quite a bit of humidity. And when I have it at room humidity, so I would say like maybe 30, 40, 20%, it just drops all of its like new leaves. So new leaves cannot grow. And I don't know if it's just mine or anybody else is having this issue, but since it's been in a greenhouse, it's doing a lot better. So this one is my Hoya caudata sumatra. So it has like fuzzy leaves and some splashing, and the leaves are quite like stiff, so they're not very like flexible or anything like that. But yeah, I've had like maybe 3-4 new leaves that have like grown to small medium-ish size, like not the size of like a normal leaf, and then they just drop randomly. So it's definitely a humidity issue because I don't have an issue with like watering it. I don't forget. So this one is a new leaf that's forming right now, and hopefully this one doesn't drop. It's still fairly small, but it at least has emerged, and I see the fuzz on it, so it's really cute. And yeah, there's more leaves over here that are super small. I don't know if you guys can even see that. And some new leaves here. So they're just all over this vine. But yeah, shout out this like entire vine that has like twirled up all over the trellis. And yeah, I think it's quite happy inside my greenhouse. I'm not sure if I want to keep this plant. It's a little bit too fussy for me. I like slightly easier plants, especially if the leaf shape, the leaf pattern, the leaf texture is not really speaking to me. I don't think it requires this amount of care. So yeah, I might get rid of this Hoya, but we'll see. Next one is one that I'm definitely struggling with in terms of like, it's not rotting on me or anything like that, but it's just like not really growing. And when it grows, it just has like really wonky leaves. So I don't know what's its issue. But this is my Hoya Polyneura. It's currently in leca, and it's really hard to show you guys without dripping water everywhere. So my Hoya Polyneura, it's looking not very Polyneura-like. It's supposed to be the fishtail Hoya, and honestly, the leaves are so like tiny. Like, look at that. Like, what is this leaf? Tell me. It's so just not cute. And I've transferred it to leca hoping that it will do better. When it was in soil, it literally did nothing, and it just grew ugly leaves, which is making me really not want this Polyneura. But other people have such like great experiences with their Polyneura, but mine is just looking real just not cute. And it has some spots on its leaves, like these yellow marks. I don't know if it's sun damage, I don't know if it's splashiness, but it just doesn't look like it should be on the leaf. So yeah, if you guys have any tips about this Polyneura, please let me know. Does it like to be more on the moist side? Does it like to be more dry? Does it need high humidity? I don't know. I've tried so many different conditions and it just doesn't really do much. Currently it's just like close to my humidifier, so it's not like very dry, but I've taken it outside of my greenhouse because I wasn't able to like look at it or inspect it. So now it's just sitting on my shelf, and hopefully it's enjoying the leca life. But yeah, that's plant number 2, which just isn't that easy. Plant number 3 is my Hoya Vietnam. So this is the Hoya hainanensis danang Vietnam, and yeah, all the new growth has dropped off. So I'm hoping some new leaves will actually grow at some point. It has really pretty like veining on its leaves, and I really like the leaf shape and the growth pattern. It seems to like to grow in like clusters, so it'll grow like a bunch in one section and then it'll shoot out a vine, grow a bunch in another section. So yeah, the new growth just decided to drop off. I don't know if it was just trying to acclimate to my new environment once I got it from Crystal Star Nursery, but it hasn't done much in the time that I've had it. And I've since transferred it to leca, which I don't really see any new roots growing yet, but it's still fairly early. I would say it's only been like a week and a half or something like that. But yeah, this one definitely also not a beginner plant. It's a very pretty Hoya, don't get me wrong, but just not the easiest. It's a little bit fussy. It could drop new leaves very easily, and I personally haven't had root rot with this, so I can't say how it is with watering, but for sure new leaves are super sensitive. They're just very sensitive, and you have to be very on top of all the conditions essentially. Next plant I'll show you guys is my Hoya lacunosa silver. So I think I did feature this in one of my easier beginner friendly Hoyas because it was growing really well for me, and it was just growing nuts. It was like thriving in my care when I first got it. It was planted in moss when I first received it, and then I transferred it to soil, and that's when it was doing really well inside my greenhouse. Once I took it out, I think I may have overwatered it and it rotted the entire plant. And I only noticed that because the leaves were getting very soft and flimsy despite me, like watering the plant. Usually when I see my Hoyas are a little bit softer, that's when I water. That's an indication for me to water. But because these leaves are so thin to begin with, it's very hard to know, I guess. So I take back the whole this is a beginner friendly plant, and I'm definitely moving it to a more difficult plant because I've rotted this probably about like 3 times now. And this is what's left of the plant, which is so small, and it makes me so sad because it's smaller than when I even bought it like a while ago. I would say like more than 6 months ago, and that's how it's looking like. The leaves are still kind of wrinkly, meaning it hasn't rooted. It was in water for ages, like over a month, and then I transferred it to moss because the water clearly wasn't doing anything for it. And then I transferred it back into water. So it's gone through a lot, and it's still just not having it. So hopefully I can save this guy. I know other people, like my friends, have also had trouble with the Hoya lacunosa silver, probably because it doesn't have chlorophyll in its leaves, so it's not green, it's literally silver. And B, since the leaves are thinner, you do have to keep on top of watering it, but you can't overwater it because it'll just rot. So there's a high risk for rot. And C, it's just such a small plant. So I don't know, just so many issues with that. So I wouldn't recommend that. It's a really pretty plant, so if you're able to kind of be on top of all the care requirements for this plant, I'd recommend it. But if you're just a beginner, you just want like a pretty plant, don't get this. And I think that's pretty much it. All my other Hoyas are fairly easy, and I don't really have too much trouble with them. The whole leca transition, I know some of them are not doing too great, but then that's my own issue because I'm trying to transfer it to a completely different medium. If it was just perfectly in soil, it wouldn't have had any issues with me. So I wouldn't call them difficult, but these are definitely more of the non-beginner friendly plants for Hoyas. So if you're new to collecting, definitely don't get these. But later on in your Hoya journey, you could. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment down below which Hoya you're struggling with in your collection. I would love to know because I'd probably avoid that Hoya. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.